This is a 6-month review of the ZCam E2F6. First of all, I have to say this video is not sponsored by anyone, and I had to pay everything from my own money. I will talk about the mounting options, the pros and the cons of the ZCam E2F6 during the 6 months. The ZCam E2F6 fits the handheld rig, the gimbal rig, the anamorphic rig, and of course the vertical rig, because everyone loves vertical, and vertical is so nice, such a great field of view, so wide, so landscape, so love it, not. So why ZCam? I needed a camera which I can use for different kind of project. That means from long talking head situations to slow motion recordings in a very controlled environment with a bunch of different codecs, resolutions and various frame rates. All of it in 10-bit or higher, but a full frame sensor. Because I love the full frame bokeh and I just love it.
Okay, let's take a closer look. The first thing I want to talk about is the startup time. It is very fast, but sometimes it just doesn't recognize the SSD when it's mounted with USB-C. I always have to plug it off and back in, and it's really frustrating when you're shooting run and gun. The first days it took me a lot of time going through the menu and understand how everything is structured and organized, because you only have these up and down buttons, but the menu is not just up and down. If you want to go to the right, you have to press down. So it's a little bit weird, but after a time you get really used to it, and with the custom buttons on the left side you can easily make some shortcuts to white balance, magnifier and the ISO and everything. So even there's an option to save and load profiles when you want to switch between a 4K slow motion preset and a 5K anamorphic mode. That's a good thing, where you can save and load these profiles within some seconds. Even this loading mode you can set to a custom button on the left side, but you can't change the names of the profiles. So your epic anamorphic mode just have the name profile 00. So let's talk about the resolutions and codecs. You can choose between 6K open gate and Full HD in H.264, which is 8-bit, H.265, 10-bit, ProRes or ZRAW in 12-bit. I will talk a little bit later about ZRAW, but let's talk first about the variable frame rates. The highest variable frame rates you get is 120 frames per second in H.265 or H.264 in 4K or Full HD. And there's a really cool feature, the 5K 6:5 anamorphic mode, which really impressed me, because it is a true full frame anamorphic mode which creates such a wide field of view. And I wish ZCam makes an anamorphic mode with 50 frames per second in the next firmware update, because until now the highest variable frame rate in anamorphic mode is at only 30 frames per second. But a thing which comes with all these variable frame rates is the sensor crop. When you're in 4K, H.265 or ProRes and you want to film higher than 60 frames per second, so included 60 frames per second, there is a sensor crop. It looks like a APS-C sensor crop, but not in ProRes. In ProRes it's something between. And there is a 4K widescreen mode with 120 frames per second, but this is with the APS-C sensor crop. So if you want to film full frame, 10-bit, 120 frames per second, then it is only available in Full HD. And now I wanna talk about some weird things I noticed in the 6 months. The white balance presets, like daylight, is not locked. It could help you or double the time and color correction. So another weird thing is video and audio delay. The delay is not very heavy, but if you wanna follow fast objects, then it could kill the shot. And there's another thing what comes with the audio, is the audio settings. With the new firmware update, you're able to control left and the right side. This is really good if you want to have a backup audio line. So I always set the left side to 10 and the right side to -4. But if you restart the camera, it always switches to a default mode. It sounds like it is back both sides on 0. I always have to go into the settings to the left side and add +1 and just take it back. Left, gain, +1, and now suddenly it works.
Now ZRAW. If you aim for an internal RAW recording camera, then Zcam will disappoint you. ZRAW is not supported by any editing softwares. I can tell you a story. I had a shoot. We had about 2 hours of raw material, of ZRAW material, and it took me to convert with the ZRAW video suite on my 2017 MacBook Pro about 26 hours to convert all these files, and that was for me a real workflow breaker. But Zcam announced they support now ProRes RAW with an external recorder. For example, the Atomos Ninja, so you can record at least 4K 60 frames in ProRes RAW, 12-bit. So this could be a good mix. In a word, the Zcam E2F6 is very handy, very compact and very fast. It has its issues. German, can't speak English. But these can very easily be fixed within firmware update. So if Zcam is watching this, please fix this. But keep in mind, every camera is just a sensor you put between your eyes and the scene. So it's always you who creates the beauty in the scene. And with this motivational speech, I will end this video. So hit the like button, subscribe, and if you have some questions, just write it in the comments and I will answer or make a video about this. So see you in the next one. Goodbye. Goodbye from Germany.